Welcome back, everyone. So, I'm trying to go a little bit quicker here in setting up Redux because I assume you already have some knowledge of Redux, and this course is not really about Redux, but about the middleware Redux Saga. Even though I'm trying to go fast, I'm trying to also let you know of everything and give you a review of Redux if you don't remember things clearly. Anyway, I don't want to skip or step over things too fast. Let's keep going then. So let's define mapStateToProps right here. So right now, if you look back at the reducer, now we have a initial property, fruits with an array of objects. That's great. So we go back to app.js, we define mapStateToProps. Now, I want to be able to access the list of fruits using the property fruits. It could be any property name you want. So how can I get the fruits? Well, that's in the state, right? But the state is an object that has what? The fruits property. So we can just say that state.fruits. Oops. And that will give you the fruits. That's it. So this guy will be injected as prop called fruits. So we can access it with this.props.fruits. Great, that's good. Let's do a console log in the render method here for the app. How about that? So under the render method, put a console log and say this.props, like so. We just want to know what's in the props for this given to app. And we're going to see, we hope, that fruits is there. Now let's save it. Notice the console log is under render. Don't make the mistake of doing this. Alright? So let's go back to the browser. So I already have my console right here at the bottom. If you take a look, there's this.props, right? The console log is an object. And you can see, oh, this object has two properties. The first property is called dispatch, which is a function. And this is a function that's used to emit actions, right? Redux actions. And you can see also the fruits is here. So if you go back to here, that's from mapStateToProps. You can have pass null. What happens if you pass null? Pass nothing or nothing, right? Let's see what happens. So I have nothing to connect, the first set of parentheses. And I'm going to see what's happening here. You see the object only has dispatch now. So connect added the prop dispatch so we can dispatch actions. Now I'll go back to add-on here. I'm going to revert and add the mapStateToProps there. So we can see finally that fruits, we can access it using this.props.fruits right here. See apple, orange, and strawberry. That's great. So we hooked up Redux successfully. Great. Anyway, let's keep going. So that is great. So we hooked it up successfully. Now we want to be able to pass it to the list of fruits. Now, we kind of wanted to do the step by step, but let's do step 4 right here, right now. How about that? But using fake data. So in place of this fruit list, we're going to make an actual fruit list component. So we're going to call it fruit list like so. And then we're going to pass a prop, right? I'm going to say fruits. And I'm just going to pass as props to this.props.fruits. That's it. But we have to define this component. So let's do it. src, create a new file called FruitList, fruitlist.js in capital case. Let's make this guy stateless functional component because we don't really care about keeping state and it's pretty simple. Okay, how about that? So let's make a function, call it FruitList. It's a function that takes first argument props and then you return the template for this guy. So this is a stateless functional component. It's very simple. It just takes one parameter called props, and the return is actually the render equivalent to the render function, right? And we're just going to return a UL, another list, and we're gonna map props.fruits. We're gonna generate for each fruit li component. Okay, so a fruit, we're gonna return an li component with the fruit.name. Since we are doing map, React will warn you need a key, so let's use the fruit ID as the key. Now it's all good, but we have to always import React from React because we're using JSX right here. And okay, now finally we export, you can just use the default if you want, the FruitList component. Okay, so let's review what we did here. So we created a component, just a function. The props, that's the props it receives as the first argument. So we return a template with a UL. Now we want to generate a li component element or component for each fruit. So fruits is giving us props.fruits. So for that we use the map function that would take every fruit and generate a list, right, with LIs. Now we use app key, the fruit ID as key, because otherwise React will complain about not having a key. And we use the fruit name as the actual content of this element. Notice I'm using many shorthands of ES6, so here you don't really need the parentheses. It's optional if you only have one argument. Here too, same thing, okay? And here is an implicit return. I don't have the keyword return, but it's implicitly because it's an arrow function, and I implicit return an li. Okay, it's actually the same as this guy. All right. Anyway, you probably know that or not. Let's save this. Though that's great, looking good. This FruitList component, very simple. Let's go back to app. Now we using FruitList here, pass the fruits as prop, right? But we need to import it because it's saying it's not defined. So let's do it. We're gonna do up here before app.css or whatever. Import FruitList from /fruitlist because it's in the same directory. That's great. Let's test it out. Go back to the browser. So now you can see apple, orange, and strawberry in a bullet list. That's great. Everything worked fine. So we have finished this lesson. We hooked up the mapStateToProps, and we successfully created the FruitList component. Okay, so let's take a break and I'll see you in the next lesson.